Noam Chomsky was born in 1928 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. From a young age, Chomsky showed promise as he excelled in school at a much quicker rate than his fellow classmates. In fact, at age 16, Chomsky began his first year of his undergraduate degree at the University of Pennsylvania. There he explored several areas of study, including philosophy, logic, and linguistics. He eventually graduated from the University of Pennsylvania in linguistics. From there, he went on to teach at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also known as MIT. He remained there for over 50 years as a professor. He also frequently was a guest lecturer at various universities throughout the country. One of the things that Chomsky is well known for is his studies on the cognitive revolution. Chomsky's views of language are quite consistent with the nativist ideas. One of Chomsky's first works was a review on Skinner's theories on language in the book Verbal Behavior. This review helped Chomsky become a more prominent and recognized intellectual. In this review, Chomsky disagrees with Skinner's theory, which includes the idea that the mind is like a blank slate and language is a learned behavior. Chomsky argues that language is an evolutionary development unique to humans. Critiquing Skinner further, Chomsky says that it would be impossible for a child to learn the complex grammar and syntax of a language simply by the principles of association and reinforcement suggested by Skinner. Let's listen to Chomsky himself explain a little more about this idea.
You stick a young child in an environment where people are speaking language, and that child can no more help knowing that language than the child can help growing. It's just part of human growth is for some component of the brain to pick up the language. You can't learn it, and you don't learn it any more than you learn to see. Now, the fact is that the system that grows in the brain is sometimes different from a system which is regarded, for whatever reason, as necessary or appropriate or approved or something. There's some prestige dialect, and it may be different from what grew in your brain. It typically is.
Or it may be a way.
Chomsky claims that the brain is genetically programmed to generate language. He claims all children are born with brain structures that make it easy for them to learn the complexity of a language. Let's take a moment and think about a toddler learning to speak. There is a large gap between the linguistic stimuli children are exposed to and the vast linguistic knowledge they come to have. Here is an example.
Where's the baby?
Baby?
Yeah, where's the baby?
Baby?
What were you saying? Say, baby's cute.
Baby cute.
What?
Baby cute.
Is the baby cute?
I said he's cute.
Although that toddler in the video clip is still unable to form complex, complete sentences, it seems as though the child is able to understand its mother, even at this very young age, and also respond in understandable English. Chomsky explains this phenomenon by an innate language capacity, as previously mentioned. Another aspect of Chomsky's research was the minimalist program. Contrary to previous research, this program focuses on simplifying language that relates meanings and sounds. Wikipedia explains this concept very well. Chomsky places emphasis on the plasticity of the brain's neural circuits, along with which comes an infinite number of concepts or logical forms. When exposed to linguistic data, the brain of a hearer-speaker then proceeds to associate sound with meaning. And the rules of grammar that we observe are in fact only the consequences or side effects of the way that language works. Thus, while much of Chomsky's prior research has focused on the rules of language, he now focuses on the mechanisms that the brain uses to create these rules. Many modern psycholinguistics were and are greatly influenced by Chomsky and his theories about language, which he recorded in several books and spoke much about. Chomsky's first published book is titled Syntactic Structures. Some of his other work is included in Aspects of the Theory of Syntax, Topics in the Theory of Generative Grammar, Cartesian Linguistics, a chapter in the history of rationalist thought, Studies in Language, and the Sound Pattern of English. Noam Chomsky is an incredible psycholinguistic who has and will continue to have a prominent place in the language world for years to come. Let's finish up this video with some words from Chomsky. Language is a process of free creation. Its laws and principles are fixed, but the manner in which the principles of generation are used is free and infinitely varied. Even the interpretation and use of words involves a process of free creation.